up, guys? Welcome back. Since somebody asked and I wanted to make you a video for this anyhow, yes, they are bringing out a Batman series. HBO ordered one. The guy that made Batman, the animated series, my most favorite Batman series of all time and ever because it was the best. He's going to be doing a lot of the stuff on it. And it's weird it popped up in the dream. I realized after I looked it up to answer someone, I was like, yeah, I heard about that and then just completely put it out of my mind because it's HBO and I don't have cable. But I was like, oh my God, I saw this. I don't think I had a psychic, flash, but I saw this in my dream. And I realized the dream was Loki trying to be nice, but I've been under the weather for a couple days. And sometimes, like, you know how goofy your dreams go? So, what the dream actually was, and this is the problem I have with that minute format, I had to leave out huge chunks of detail to get a minute or less. Kind of hating that format right now. I come home with my mom, who's been deceased for a decade now. But we come home, and it's like a normal thing when she visits me in my dreams. We're always going out and we're getting groceries and we're coming home doing something. She sits in her chair. My dad's not in this dream for some reason. I don't know why. And we're gonna put groceries away, but it was like we warped back in time because paper bags were groceries. When was the last time I saw those? It's been a while. Um, and I go into my closet to put something away, like maybe a coat or something. And it was funny because outside, I know the way I tell stories, but outside was like super bright, like we came in from like the light of heaven or something. I don't know, but anyhow, I go in my closet and there's this tall, skinny guy laying on the floor, has my closet light on, and has this beautiful outfit put together from all my clothes. And has this camera, like his camera phone, and he's like filming it, and he's talking to people. And as somebody with a channel, I'm like, oh, he's live streaming, and I'm showing respect. It's not coming to me that he is in my house. And then finally, I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's in my house," and yet still, I don't want to interrupt him because this beautiful, outfit he put together from my clothes is telling you about using, necklaces as accessories instead of a belt and all this other good stuff. And it's a really beautiful outfit, and like he's coming across very, very, very out and flamboyant gay. And I'm like watching this, and I'm like, oh, he's really good at this. I wish I could do that. And then it finally dawns on me, hey, this strange guy is in my house. I don't care if he's also gay or not. I'm getting him out of my house. And I'm like trying to shake his shoulder and he's ignoring me. I'm like, dude, how did you get in my house? What are you doing here? Why are you filming your live stream in my house? And then he's like, oh, we've always been here. And when he says we, I realize that there's an older man in my kitchen, and like the train just ain't pulling into the station, boys and girls. And I'm like, what do you mean you've always been here? He goes, oh, we come in all the time and we take incense and we take food. And I'm like, part of me knows this is a dream, is like when you wake up, you're going to find incense and food missing, just so you know. And I'm like, what? He says, we get in all the time. I say, how do you get in all the time? I always have my door locked. And there's like a jump cut from me talking to him to we're suddenly outside on my porch. And he looks very different. He kept shape shifting, but again, the train's not pulling into the station. And I grab him by the lapel, and his outfits and everything are changing. And I said, do you swear by being a god that you're always going to protect my mom and this house and everything else? And it's like I see like something coming, and believe me, I'm not psychic. And he's, Loki. He's like, you should know I'm a god. How dare you? So he's in a fluff, and he's gonna, walk off. And I'm walking with him, and dumb me did not get what he was trying to say in the dream, but I've been under the weather, so I got confused, and he realizes that nobody feels terrible. There's a girl and at least two boys and a couple other kids running with a dog with a golden retriever, and I see them, and most people would have been like, aw, but I'm like, something's wrong. The train over there is wrong across the street. And I'm like, these kids are literal monsters. So sorry. I apologize to the kids 90 million times. I'm like, I got terrified of him for some reason. I jumped into his arms, and I'm not terrified of him or hell or anybody, but In the dream, something frightened me intensely about them. I don't know what it was, and I've apologized to them 50 million times. And Rimmer's just been laughing at me, and Hell thinks it's funny too. They were like, "We knew you were sick. We told Dad it was a bad idea, but you know, Loki sometimes has epically bad timing. He's a god of bad timing sometimes. I love him for it." We go out to his car that keeps transforming into these all these cars, like cars my dad had, cars I've loved, a car that frightens me. Long story. And he's going into his trunk for something. And he hands me his phone that he was filming, which is again transformed. And that's where the Batman animated series comes in. I'm watching this cartoon on there, and it had completely gone out of my head that that was a thing. And I'm watching this guy wander through a warehouse. And it's definitely their style of animation. I said, this really looks like a Batman thing. And then there's this voice from above warning this guy not to go any further, that he's in danger. And he's not immortal or whatever. And I'm like, is that Batman? Oh my god, that is the voice of Batman from that series. And this guy is just like a low level crook, but as he's going, he's transforming, and he looks like Scarface. Remember the doll, but he's a human, but he looks like he has aspects of Two-Face. But then he has the Tommy gun that Scarface carried. And he's going up against this horrifying monster, which is where I think my under the weather was like messing with the dream. It looked like a monster out of a shooter I got done yesterday, and I was practicing with it because it looked cute. And it did. It was this girl that has a bubble gum gun that shoots zombies. So anyhow, it was like the monster from that. And he's going to shoot it, but he gets overpowered. And then it switches to a very real life hospital. And I think this was based on another game we had seen. These people are like transforming into like these monsters. Like they go into like almost like a cocoon, and they come out like muscle bound monsters. That's not making any fun of people, having, good physique, but there's nothing wrong with them, but they're completely transforming. And there's this nurse saying, "Oh, it's natural and you're all going to come down with it. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt to go into your cocoon and come out." Then I woke up. I think the nurse was Loki. I'm not sure. And I was like, "What?" But I think getting sick is what, he was trying to make it like a real loving dream. But, I always have this sense when I see the dead in the dream, like I get this certain vibe. So I was getting that vibe off my mom. So it was definitely my mom, and she looked like my mom. Loki has tried to masquerade as my mom, and it's been scarring to my mind because it just doesn't look right. And I think sometimes they try to send you an image and your brain just misinterprets it and garbles it, and they end up scarring you for life. So he feels super bad. He was trying to be loving, and he was trying to give me a uplifting dream of, we're here, the kids are here, what are you worried about? And I'm like, have you read the news? And he's just like, don't worry. And I think that would be his message to all of us, to not worry about stuff. I felt under the weather. We were blessed with 2 lovely days lately. And I thank the gods, because I've been yammering at them for weeks to be able to get out of the house. But you know what? I've just felt under the weather, and I'm like, I'm not going to risk it. When you have fibro and you have all the other stuff I already have a really nerfed immune system that's kind of attacking itself now. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go out lately with COVID's going back up in the States. So hopefully just mentioning it once isn't going to do anything. But, I'm not going to go out and take any risks. I'm like, I'm homebound. I don't get out. I have severe allergies to everything. I've had near fatal reactions to a lot of medications. And the funny thing is, I didn't remember that until recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've had really bad reactions to a whole host of medications. I'm like, the last thing I need to do is get put back in the hospital and, be given something, and that'll be the end of me. So I'm kind of lying low, but I'll be okay, guys. I get this. My fibro's acting up, my arthritis is acting up, and I'm just kind of having sleeping beauty disease, which is why you guys see me drinking coffee all the time, or I'd sleep all day. That's all I would do. So yeah, Batman the Animated Series is being not they're not calling it a reboot, but they're doing something. They're saying it's going to be like dark and noir and everything else. There were articles a couple months ago. I'd seen it and just totally put it out of my mind, but I guess Loki thought I would enjoy seeing something. He just scarred me for life, as he sometimes does when he tries to show his people love and support. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.